Hi, hello, namaste. This is Dr. Kasigari Prasad, Associate Professor, Graphologist, Writer and Motivational Speaker. In our previous classes, we have defined and discussed on electrostatic fields in material space. The very first topic we discussed is what is a material? What are the different types of materials? Those topics we have studied in the first class. Then how we classify these currents in that materials, like convection currents and conduction currents concepts we have discussed in the second topic. Now in this third topic we are supposed to discuss on conductors. What is the purpose of a conductor and how these conductors will produce the electrostatic field? That concepts we are going to discuss here. So before start the class, let us start with a motivating point called a conductor should guide rather than command. Similarly, in a similar way, a teacher is just like a conductor. He always used to like to guide the students, inspire the students, motivate the students, and in spite of commanding them, inspiration and motivation gives a lot of change and transformation in the minds of every individuals. So I feel so happy to discuss today about conductors. Being a teacher, I am a conductor to inspire you all with these insightful and technical topics. Let's define what is a conductor. A conductor has abundance of charges that is free to move. So good enough amount of charges are there in a conductor that are used to move from one point to another point. Now let us consider an isolated conductor as shown in this following figure. An isolated conductor. So isolated conductor means in this conductor it has positive charges as well as negative charges. Now let us see when external force, when external electric field external electric field EE, see as shown in the figure, external electric field EE is applied through this conductor to this conductor. All the positive charges of this conductor will move along the direction of applied electric field and will induce on the right side of this particular surface. Similarly, all the negative charges will move in opposite direction to the applied electric field and will be induced on the left side of the surface. This is induced. So coming to the second diagram, let us notice the zero electric field under static condition. Since all the positive charges are moving on to the right side and negative charges are moving on to the left side, in this process internal electric field EI is produced here, and such produced electric field, internal electric field EI, in contrast with applied external electric field EI, both are in opposite to each other and will cancel each other, and hence net electric field produced here is equal to 0. Therefore, electric field E is equal to 0 and the charge distribution, volume charge distribution rho V is also equal to 0. That is noticed in the second diagram. Now the same concept let me explain through this another slide. When external electric field EE is applied, the positive free charges are pushed along the same direction as the applied electric field. When the negative free charges, while the negative free charges are moving in the opposite direction, and this charge mitigation or migration will take place very, very quickly. These free charges will do two important things. First and foremost is they accumulate on the surface of the conductor and form induced surface charges. And secondly, these induced charges set up an internal induced field EI, as I have shown in the diagram previously, which cancels with the applied external electric field EE. Therefore, this EI, internal induced electric field, and applied external electric field both will cancel each other, and a perfect conductor cannot contain an electrostatic field within it. This is the conclusion. So the first conclusion of this concept is, since it is under static condition, a perfect conductor cannot contain an electrostatic field within it is the first observation or conclusion we came to notice right now. In continuation to this one, let us see. A conductor is an equipotential body. A conductor is called an equipotential body. Equipotential, equally potential distributed on the particular body, that we call it as equipotential body. So a conductor is called an equipotential body. It implies that the potential is same everywhere on that particular conductor surface. This is based on the fact, we know the fact right from the first chapter concepts. We got a relation called what is the relationship between electric field and potential. There we have taken an equation called E is equal to minus del V is the relation between electric field and potential. So according to that, E is equal to minus del V is equal to 0. It indicates that wherever on the equipotential surface body, the potential is equal to 0. Now let us see the same concept in a different dimension, in a different view, Ohm's law. So what do Ohm's law says? J is equal to sigma E is the Ohm's law. According to this, to maintain a finite current density, J in a perfect conductor, conductivity sigma tends to infinity requires that electric field inside the conductor must vanish. So the electric field must get vanish in order to have infinite conductivity in the conductor. I repeat, to maintain a finite current density, minimum కొంత ఫైనైట్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీని ఓ కండక్టర్లో మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి అంటే ఆ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కండక్టర్లో ఉన్నటువంటి కండక్టివిటీ సిగ్మా అనేది ఇన్ఫినిటీగా ఉంటుంది. సో ఇట్ రిక్వైర్స్ ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఇన్సైడ్ దట్ కండక్టర్ ఏమై ఉండాలి? ఇట్ షుడ్ వ్యానిష్, ఇట్ షుడ్ గో టు జీరో. సో ఇన్ అనదర్ వర్డ్స్ టు సే, electric field tends to 0 because conductivity sigma tends to infinity in a perfect conductor. సో ఆడ కండక్టివిటీ ఇన్ఫినిటీకి వెళ్ళింది అంటే ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది మనకు 0 అవుతేనే మనకు ఆల్రెడీ అనుకునేటువంటి కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అవుతుంది. అనుకున్న కండిషన్ ఏంటి? ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు మైనస్ డెల్ వి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 0 కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై కావాలి అంటే ఇట్ మస్ట్ హ్యాపెన్ ఇఫ్ సమ్ చార్జెస్ ఆర్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్డ్. అది ఫస్ట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ అన్న. నెక్స్ట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్కి వచ్చేటప్పటికి, ఇఫ్ సమ్ చార్జెస్ ఆర్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్డ్ ఇన్ ద ఇంటీరియర్ ఆఫ్ సచ్ ఎ కండక్టర్, అలాంటి ఓ కండక్టర్ని తీసుకొని అందులో ఇంటీరియర్లో కొన్ని ఛార్జెస్ని కానీ మనం ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? దీస్ ఛార్జెస్ విల్ మూవ్ టు ది సర్ఫేస్ అండ్ రీడిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ దెమ్సెల్ఫ్ క్విక్లీ ఇన్ సచ్ ఎ మేనర్ దట్ ఫీల్డ్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద కండక్టర్ వ్యానిషెస్. ఇఫ్ సమ్ అడిషనల్ ఛార్జెస్ ఆర్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్డ్ ఇన్ ద ఇంటీరియర్ ఆఫ్ సచ్ ఎ కండక్టర్, అలాంటి కండక్టర్ని తీసుకొని ఛార్జెస్ని కానీ మనం ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేస్తే దోస్ ఛార్జెస్ విల్ మూవ్ టు ది సర్ఫేసెస్ and redistribute themselves quickly in such a manner that field inside the conductor should vanish. అప్పుడు మటుకే మనకు E ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు మైనస్ డెల్ వి అనేటువంటి రిలేషన్షిప్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 0 అనేది సాటిస్ఫై అవుతుంది. దట్స్ ది కాన్సెప్ట్. సో అకార్డింగ్ టు గాస్ లా, అనదర్ కాన్సెప్ట్, లెట్ us take another concept. According to Gauss law, if E is equal to 0, the charge density rho v must be 0 కదా. If electric field is 0 means the charge distribution there it should be also 0. So we conclude again that a perfect conductor cannot contain an electrostatic field within it under static condition. This is important point. We conclude that a perfect conductor cannot contain an electrostatic field within it under static conditions. Therefore, E is equal to 0, rho v is equal to 0 and potential difference VAB is also 0 inside a conductor. ఇది మనకు ఇప్పుడు దాకా వచ్చినటువంటి ఫస్ట్ అండ్ ఫార్మోస్ట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఏంటంటే, ఎ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కండక్టర్ కెనాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎలక్ట్రోస్టాటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ విత్ ఇన్ ఇట్ అండర్ స్టాటిక్ కండిషన్స్. నౌ లెట్ us see, ఇంకొద్దిగా డీటెయిల్గా వెళ్దాం. లెట్స్ గో ఇన్ మచ్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్. లెట్ us consider a conductor as shown in the figure, and that conductor is connected to some potential difference. So let us see the figure consisting of a conductor whose ends are maintained at a potential difference V. Potential difference ఎంత ఇచ్చినాము? V ఇచ్చినాము. చూడండి, పాజిటివ్ నెగిటివ్ potential difference, and the charges are there in the conductor, and electric field is moving in the right side on the top, and the current is moving here. this is what shown, and the total length of the conductor is L, the electric field is E, current is I. That is noticed from the figure. Okay, clear observation from the figure. Note that in this case electric field inside the conductor is not equal to 0 now. It is not equal to 0 now. It is having some value. It is having some value. Here the conductor is not under equilibrium condition. Even the conductor is not under equilibrium condition here, because the conductor is not isolated as in the previous cases. Whereas in the previous cases it is isolated, but now it is not an isolated condition since it is not under equilibrium condition. In this case the conductor is connected to a source of electromotive force. ఇచ్చినాం కదా electromotive force V అనేది ఇచ్చినాం కదా. So we have connected to electromotive force. Due to this all the free charges are forced to move, and therefore electrostatic equilibrium condition will disturb. ఏమైపోతుంది ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎలక్ట్రోమోటివ్ ఫోర్స్కి అప్లై చేయడం వల్ల all the free charges are now moving in to and fro directions, and electrostatic equilibrium condition ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ డిస్టర్బ్ అయిపోయింది. Once the electrostatic equilibrium condition is disturbed here, the electric field must exist inside the conductor. ఇప్పుడు తప్పకుండా electric field అనేది exist అవ్వాలి. E is not equal to 0 now. It has some electric field. Why? In order to sustain some flow of current. So as the electrons are moving now, they will experience some opposite forces called damping forces, and that damping force is called resistance. Now with the help of Ohm's law in equation, we know the concept called Ohm's law. Ohm's law equation base prakaranga J is equal to sigma E. We will derive the resistance of such conducting material. Now ippudaka what we have done is we have taken a concept called కండక్టర్, పర్ఫెక్ట్ కండక్టర్లో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ గురించి మనం రాసుకున్నాము. ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, అక్కడ ఎలాంటి ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ అవ్వదనేటువంటి కంక్లూషన్కి అయితే వచ్చినాం. ఇప్పుడు దానికి ఒక పొటెన్షియల్ సప్లైని కానీ మనం అందిస్తే ఆ పొటెన్షియల్ సప్లై వల్ల అక్కడ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది ప్రొడ్యూస్ అవుతుంది అనేది నోటీస్ చేస్తాం. ఆ ప్రొడ్యూస్ అయినటువంటి ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ వల్ల అక్కడ కరెంట్ ఫ్లక్చువేషన్స్ జరుగుతాయి అనేది నోటీస్ చేసినాం. వన్స్ కరెంట్స్ అక్కడ కానీ ఫ్లక్చువేట్ అవ్వడం జరిగింది అంటే అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి ఛార్జెస్కి కాస్త ఎగైనెస్ట్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ కాల్డ్ ఎగైనెస్ట్ ఫోర్స్ అనేది అప్లై అవుతుంది. ఆ ఫోర్స్ని మనం డాంపింగ్ ఫోర్సెస్ అంటాము. ఆ డాంపింగ్ ఫోర్సెస్ని మన టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్స్లో రెసిస్టెన్స్ అని చెప్పుకుంటాం. సో ఇప్పుడు కండక్టర్లో రెసిస్టెన్స్ అనేది ఆఫర్ చేస్తారు కాబట్టి ఆ రెసిస్టెన్స్ని మనం వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ నౌ. వీఆర్ నౌ గోయింగ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ దట్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ హియర్. Suppose let us consider the conductor has a uniform cross section S and it is having a length L. Now the direction of electric field E produced is in the same direction of the flow of positive charge or current I. The direction of electric field E produced is in the same direction of the flow of positive charge or current I. This direction is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. It is important. Suppose the conductor has a uniform cross section S and is of length L. Aithe the direction of the electric field E produced is the same as the direction of flow of positive charge or current I. So electric field direction like current, positive current అనేది move అవుతుంది. This direction is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. This direction is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Now let us see, the electric field applied is uniform and its magnitude is given by ఇక్కడ చూడండి, మనం ఆల్రెడీ మన డయాగ్రామ్లోకి వెళ్ళండి ఒకసారి. ఇన్ దిస్ డయాగ్రామ్ electric field is capital E, applied potential is V, the length of the conductor is L and the current moving here is I. Based on these parameters we calculate the equation. చూడండి, electric field E is equal to potential V over a length L. So E is equal to V by L. Since the conductor has uniform cross section, current density J is equal to current per surface area kada. So current I divided by surface area S. That equation we have written here. Now substituting the value of what is Ohm's law, J is equal to sigma E and E is equal to V by L. ఈ రెండు ఈక్వేషన్స్ని వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ ఇన్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ ఈక్వేషన్. జే ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఐ బై ఎస్. అప్పుడు చూడండి, జే ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఐ బై ఎస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు జే ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు సిగ్మా ఈ కదా. సో సిగ్మా ఈ అండ్ వీ నో వాట్ ఈస్ ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు వి బై ఎల్ కదా. సో సిగ్మా వి బై ఎల్. రెడ్ కలర్ ఈక్వేషన్ చూడండి, జే ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఐ బై ఎస్ that is equal to sigma E and that is also equal to sigma V by L. Now we know the definition of a resistance R is equal to V by I. So R is equal to V by I resistance equation ప్రకారము V equation ఇక మనం తీసుకుంటే L divided by sigma S. L divided by sigma S. We will have taken that equation in the second red color equation. So finally that resistance equation R is equal to rho suffix C into L by S. Then what is this rho C? Rho C is 1 divided by sigma and it is known as resistivity of the material. And it is known as resistivity of the material. So R is equal to rho C L by S is the final expression for resistance of a uniform conducting surface. So this equation is useful in determining the resistance of a conductor of uniform cross section. The same expression is not suitable for measuring the resistance of a material which is not having uniform cross section, However, we know from the basic definition of resistance. What is the resistance definition? The ratio of the potential difference V between the two ends of the conductor to the current I through the conductor is the resistance. So V by I, simply R is equal to V by I, that's what it's saying. So by using the expression from electric potential concept law, we have studied from the concept of electric potential that VAB is equal to work per charge, that is equal to minus integral A to B E dot dl. This is the basic equation which we have studied from electric potential. VAB is equal to W by Q, that is equal to minus integral A to B E dot dl. Okay, and from the convection and conduction current concept law, the total current I is equal to integral S J dot ds is the equation. Okay, now the resistance of a conductor of non-uniform cross section can be estimated as R is equal to V by I. That is R is equal to V by I, that is equal to integral E dot dl divided by integral sigma E dot ds. Ikkada in this equation we have neglected the negative sign because V is equal to minus integral E dot dl is dropped in the above equation because integral E dot dl is less than 0 if I is greater than 0. So that negative symbol is neglected here. So likewise we calculated what is the resistance of a uniform cross section conductor and non-uniform cross section conductor. Now let's see an extension parameter called the power lying in this particular conductor. So that power is going to calculate right now. So power P is defined as the rate of change of energy in joules or force times velocity is the definition of a power. The rate of change of energy W in joules or force times velocity. So integral rho V dV E dot U is equal to integral E dot rho V U du. From this we can write the power equation P is equal to integral E dot J dV. So electric field with a product of current density over a volume dV. So P is equal to integral E dot J dV, which is known as Joule's law. This is known as Joule's law. Now according to that particular concept, here we are going to calculate power density WP, and it is given by the differential of integration. So we know P is equal to integral E dot J dV, that is if you differentiate or integrand that one, we will get WP is equal to dP by dV, that is E dot J is equal to sigma J is equal to sigma E nana. So sigma E into E square, magnitude E square. That's what we got in the red color equation. So for a conductor with uniform cross section having volume dV is equal to ds into dl, so the equation can be rewritten as P is equal to integral E dot J dV and can be rewritten as P is equal to integral L EdL integral S JDS. One is voltage, next one is current, so Vi. Finally we can write power P is equal to I square R, which is the more common form of Joule's law in electric circuit theory. So from the concept of conductors, we define what is a conductor and how the conductor behaves when it is in stationary, that means steady state condition, and when potential is applied, how the resistance will act upon there, and what is the value of that resistance for uniform and non-uniform cross section conductor, and then finally what is the total amount of power that is generated, and from that we will calculate what is the most common form of Joule's law in electric circuit theory. This is what we have simply studied from this particular topic. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very best. This is Dr. Kasigari Prasad, Associate Professor, Graphologist, Writer and Motivational Speaker. For such more technical lectures on electromagnetic waves and transmission lines, antennas, optical fibers, satellites and other electronics and communication subjects, I request you all to kindly follow me through YouTube in the name Kasigari Prasad. Thank you. Jai Hind.